All right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. We are going to be going over the key levels that we're planning to trade the SPY heading into this week. This is going to give you an in-depth price action analysis on where to be buying calls for the move up and where to be buying puts for the move down. Let's get straight into the analysis. So in terms of the SPY, we now have a double top towards this mid 443 level. With that being said, on the daily chart, for the first time in quite some time, we now have a fairly bearish daily candlestick on the daily chart. I am seeing something where we could have a small little spike. It's definitely a possibility. But overall, in terms of how this week could be setting up, heading into Wednesday, if not tomorrow, we could be seeing a nice drop. With that being said, I'm going to walk you through the key daily levels and the key levels that we are planning to trade SPY at. And it's going to give you a better understanding on how to identify if the bulls or bears are in control of the situation, so you know how to play the price action. So just so we understand in terms of where we are on the daily chart, we had discussed that there was resistance at 438, but once it breaks above 438 and forms support, it's going to go to the next overall previous support level that was never retested. It just cracked through. It never really retested this level on the daily chart, which was $443.50. You also have a lot of strong resistance on this resistance channel right here, which is a high of 444 to mid 445. You got a lot of resistance right here, right? So we've been double topping around that resistance channel. In terms of where it bounced from that channel, this is going to be a very key level to watch for that nobody's talking about in terms of this key level. You can see they were creating a lot of bull traps in the 444 to 445 range, and it bottomed at 435.60. So one key level I want you to keep an eye on this week is 435.60 for a potential bounce, because on the daily chart, that's what triggered a major bear trap. Now, just to understand in terms of what is going on, this previous support at 443.50 plus this bull trap zone towards 444 to 445 is reacting as a resistance. Therefore, SPY is trying to have a micro drop for the short term being. Now, what I need you focused on and what I need you to understand besides that key level that we already discussed, which is right here at this 435.60, very strong support level for potentially interested in buying calls, what you need to understand is this. You need to understand where the bull and bear traps were being created. So we know a bull trap is being created towards this double top at $444. That previous support is reacting as a resistance. Now, this is where a major bull trap was previously created at this 439 level. 439 is everything. The reason why I say that is because we're nearly at $439. It basically closed at $439. The previous closing price is always going to be a key level, not all created equally. But you can just see right here, it previously triggered a major bull trap where it went from 439 all the way down into the 434 range, right? Now, if it reacts to support, like it did right here, it breaks down, reacts to support, in that situation, it went all the way to $444. So here's some things to keep in mind. We are forming some lower highs, and we are forming a double top, and there is a bearish daily candle on the daily chart. But in terms of what I want you to understand is these two levels. 439, I want you to think of this as your support. And in terms of your resistance, I want you to think of 440. 440 was extended hours resistance, on Thursday to Friday. And it had a very nice little micro, bear trap where it had a very nice spike, but then ended up forming lower highs. So I want you to think of this as a support in a resistance zone. If SPY sits in this zone, that means it's forming lower highs. That means it's, trying to form some resistance, trying to turn this 440 support into resistance like it was. You can see it turned that extended hours strong support where the bear trap was created into resistance, and it keeps on trying to crack. We just had a small gap down. So the point being is, if it maintains under 440 and we crack below 439, we're going to be heading to this level right here, that 435.60. And remember last time I showed you on the daily chart, the first time it hit 435.60 after the bulls got trapped in the 440 to 445 retest, right? The first time it hit that 435.60, it started to create another bear trap and it formed heavy support. And you could just visually see there is so much strong support and so many bear traps getting created at 435.60. So I just want you to have that perspective with the daily chart. The first time it retested 435.60 after the bull trap was created at 445, 444. It did begin to bounce and it did begin to have a reversal. So I want you to be aware of that, and I want you to keep all of that in mind, because for the micro, it's been reacting as a very strong support level. You can say 435.60 to $434. That is your key buy zone and your key support zone. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on that overall zone, especially that 435.60 level, right? But in terms of crazy levels, man, this 434 would be one of your true best levels. But I like 435.60 and I will be keeping an eye on it. But 434 is another one to watch. And then in terms of, like I said, if 439.50, previous closing price, 444, 439, if it's cracking, reacting as a resistance, we are going to be playing puts. The max risk is going to be a break above 440. It's just having that understanding that if this does break above 440, it's going to try to spike back to 442, 443, and we're not going to be holding through that trap. Another key level that I want you to write down, this will be a great level to short. One of the members within the chat pointed this out. He's been doing extremely well with the strategy. So he's identified the bull trap levels, and this is the level that I like that he posted right here. Take a look at this chart. This 442.10, this level cracked support, and it just kept on dropping. You could see once it bounced, it formed a lower high right here. But the point is, when it cracked this support level at this like 442 level, it just kept on dropping and it never retested. So 442, I will be extremely interested in shorting and doing put options if it does flip bullish and I play the lower levels and I get stopped out. So it's just understanding we're in a tight zone from 439 to 440. If it cracks, reacts as a resistance, we're going to 435.60, likely will bounce 435.60 to 434. And then if we break above 444, then it flips micro bullish and we go to 442, likely drops at 442. Those will be my plays and levels of interest. Like I said, if this has a massive gap down or if this just crashes and takes out that support, I would look to wait for it to bounce back up, and then I would short where the support cracked. So say it's from the gap at 439.50 or it cracks 439, it has a big sell-off. Once it spikes back up to wherever the bull trap got created, I would look to short that level for the initial first time on the retest, right? So that's another trade idea I have. So those are my overall plans. That's my overall analysis. Let's discuss a little bit more macro. These levels are going to take longer to hit. But in terms of some macro levels that we are interested in, in terms of the macro, if SPY ever goes to 450, I would just short and do puts blindly without any confirmation, because the level is just too good of a level. So you can save this idea for the longer term, but you could just visually see, man, if we go on the daily chart, the reason why I say that is the first time whenever it decides it wants to hit 450, this will be a phenomenal opportunity to short and buy put options. This should be a trade so well that, basically for the most part, most people should be able to join Trader Society and afford it before they even get in the program with a trade idea like this. So 450, I'll set an alert for that. Whenever it decides to go there, I'll be doing puts, because you can see right here the high is 450, and just 4 days later, it sold off to 416. So the first time it's going to hit 450, it's going to start to have a small little micro drop for scalpers, most likely. So I would be extremely interested in doing that. And then in terms of some other more macro levels that I would be very interested in, this level right here, everybody's going to forget about this, but whenever it decides to hit, I'll be buying calls for sure. $430. There's a gap to fill right here at this 430 level. Once we fill that gap, I'll be interested in buying calls, likely without a confirmation. We'll have to wait and see. But those are just some macro levels that are going to take some time to hit. And once they hit, we can see short-term micro reversals, right? That 430's key support gap has never been filled yet. Previous resistance right here at the 430 level will likely react to support since it had such a strong overreaction breakout to the upside to $444. So that's our game plan heading into this week. Puts at 442 if we go bullish. If the zone reacts bearish, we're going to be eyeing 440 to 439.50. If we have a nice crack from support, we're going to short the retest where the bull trap got created. We're keeping an eye on call options at 435.60. We are liking $434 as well. So use all that information to your advantage and make sure you trade what you see. You need to understand, man, we have our key levels where we're interested in buying calls and we're interested in buying puts. And you guys know we're always focusing on the overbought, the overextended, the resistance for the puts, and then the oversold, the key support for the calls. We like doing reversals. With that being said, we need to see signs of a reversal. We need to see confirmation, and we need to trade what we see. Just because we're bullish or bearish at a level doesn't mean we're going to be buying calls or puts at that specific level. What we're going to do is we're going to trade what we see. There will be some times where if I'm interested in shorting here, I might be buying here, but I don't like doing that because like I said, I like, with the I don't like buying calls for the breakouts. And then for puts, I don't like shorting key breakdowns, right? But the point is we're going to trade what we see. And we're not just going to trade what we see if we don't like the level that it's at. Even though it looks bullish, we might not do calls. We might sit out. If we don't like the level that it's at because it's too oversold, even though it's bearish, we might not do puts. But I will encourage you to trade what you see along with our key levels. Always make sure that you trade what you see. Is there a confirmation? Is it forming resistance? Is it forming support? Is it reacting bearish? Is it reacting bullish? Give it about 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a pretty solid confirmation, and then use the 30-minute chart as well. The 30-minute chart is the best confirmation. A 5-minute reaction at our key levels to study if it's forming a roof or support is fairly well as well. With that being said, we are going to absolutely crush it this week. If you want to be a part of Trader Society, it is going to be the first link down below within the description. Everything is explained in terms of what you get in terms of what you get access to, which includes the Discord server, the chat room, the networking opportunities, the moderators. Every single real-time trade alert that I make is posted in real time in the Discord. You also get access to the video lesson library that teaches you everything as I know about the market, including the technical price action trading strategies, how to trade what you see, how to master the SPY. You can use this with stocks and small cap stocks as well. How to master the 30-minute candlestick strategy, how to master price action, what platforms to use, what brokers to use, how to trade options. Also included, all the unique trading strategies and patterns that I've come across and created through visually trading the charts. If you want to learn how to master the chart, this would be the best place for you because that's what we do. We trade what we see, we trade the chart, not what we think. With that being said, you also get access to risk management, position sizing trading, and psychology and mindset training. You also get access to everything it is that is included within the first link down below in the description, the live trading webinars, live trading voice channel. There's a lot to it. If you want to check it out, it's that first link down below in the description. As soon as you join, you get instant access. It is a one-time fee for lifetime access. We have a couple millionaires within the chat room who are moderators, and it is a fantastic group. We are consistently crushing it on a weekly basis. If you want to surround yourself with the right team, I would strongly encourage you to join Trader Society. We just added this new channel that is very popular, the charts section. Everyone's posting their charts, their key levels, their trading strategies here. I'm telling you, man, we're going to absolutely crush it. A phenomenal trading week is setting up, and we're going to kill it, man. The team is prepared, and we are ready to trade the best setups at the best prices, man. If you want to start having your victories within the market, I would strongly recommend that you join this team because we have people who are absolutely crushing it, man. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off here, guys. I will see you tomorrow live at Market Open, and also another ability within the room is you can ask us any questions. You can ask us any question you may have about trading within the chat, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. With that being said, it is the first link down below in the description. We will absolutely crush it tomorrow, team.